Hey guys, the Black Critic Guy here with the first legitimate top 10 list for top 10 month. Yeah, that other video I released at the beginning of the month, yeah, that one didn't actually count because, just between you and me, I was trolling the entire time in that video. I didn't mean a single thing I said in it. Canadians suck. Today I'll be counting down my top 10 favorite anime dubs. Now, when formulating this list, each dub had to meet 3 qualifications. First, the ADR work must be on point. The vocals must match the lip movements to where it's barely even noticeable. 2, the performances must be great and memorable. And 3, the dub has to be superior to the sub. That being said, I've seen many English dub over the years, so much so that it was really hard to formulate this list and fit them all into a top 10 list. So here are a couple honorable mentions. The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, Spice and Wolf, Steins Gate, Black Lagoon, Bobobo Bo Bobobo, Devil is a Part-Timer, Ninja Nonsense, and finally, Panty Stocking, Panty Stocking, yo! Oh, Panty Stocking, oh, Panty Stocking! And now let's head into the recording booth and get this list started. Battling IQs at the number 10 spot is Baca and Tess, Summon the Beast. The first of many Funimation dubs that will be featured on this very list. Baca and Tess is overall so much fun to listen to. The performances are energetic and the banter is hilarious. By the way, shout out to the great writers over at Funimation who are the unsung heroes for great English dubs. But the main reason why I placed this dub on the list was for introducing me to the wickedly talented Josh Greeley, who is currently my favorite male voice actor in anime. This was the first ever dub I heard him in, and he blew me away with this comedic timing and boisterous charisma. The Baca and Tess dub would not be as great without him. Coming as no surprise to anyone at the number 9 spot is School Rumble. Who didn't see this one coming, am I right? My feelings for School Rumble are pretty much the same as Baca and Tess. I love the energy, the charisma, the humor, and the ADR work. Not only that, but the School Rumble dub was a series of firsts for me. It was the first non-action shonen dub I heard, the first romantic comedy anime dub I heard, and the first anime dub where I loved all the performances so much that I went out of my way to look up the voice actors and actresses from the series, introducing me to the world of anime voice acting and the talented people within it. Lucy Christian, Brina Palencia, Leah Clark, Trina Nishimura, Eric Valet, Todd Haberkorn, Chris Patton, as well as the individuals who voiced my 2 favorite characters from the anime, Harima and Yakumo respectively, the distinct Brandon Potter and the incomparable Caitlin Glass. And finally, the School Rumble dub is solely responsible for kickstarting my immense love for Funimation dubs. So you can thank School Rumble for making me a Funimation fanboy. Overall, this dub, much like the anime itself, had a significant impact on my life and deserves more praise and recognition. Creeping his way into the number 8 spot is Helsing Ultimate. I had to put a dub featuring arguably one of the greatest male voice actors working today, Crispin Freeman, on this list. The difficulty was choosing which anime to put on the list, as he's done so many great dubs. Haruhi Suzumiya, the Fate series, da-da-da-da. But I ended up choosing Helsing Ultimate in the end, not only for his rich and iconic performance as Alucard, but for the phenomenal performances from all the other voice actors as well. The range of accents and the variety in each of the deliveries were impeccable. From Sir Integra Fairbook Ringate's Helsing, all the way down to Zemeja himself, who might be the second best performance in the series. It was dark, heavy, and slightly comical, much like the series itself. I command you to listen to the dub of my number 7 choice, Code Geass. This has some of the best dramatic performances of any anime dub, as well as some of the best ADR work from the former dubbing company Bandai Entertainment. Much like Crispin Freeman, Johnny Young Bosch is a legend in the anime dubbing world and one of its greatest talents, and he has voiced a variety of characters over the years, from Vash the Stampede all the way to Ichigo Kurosaki. But in my personal opinion, his best and multifaceted performance, hands down, is Lelouch v. Britannia. The bravado and confidence that oozes from his voice whenever he's challenging or outsmarting a foe, to the confliction and vulnerability that he expresses whenever things go awry. This performance has it all. With a strong leading performance coupled with many talented voice acting veterans like Yuri Lowenthal, Kate Higgins, Lauren Bailey, Michelle Ruff, Stephen Bloom, Katie Walgreen, and many more, Code Geass has arguably one of the best voice casts in anime, making me laugh my ass off at the number 6 spot is Ghost Stories. This is arguably one of the funniest dubs I have ever heard, and it's a beautiful harmony of sharp, witty, and outrageous writing, perfect comedic performances, and surprisingly precise ADR work, and can probably be considered the forefather of what is currently known as the Abridged series, which was all the rage in the mid to late 2000s. You know those Abridged series like YuuYuu Hakusho Abridged, Naruto Abridged, Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, Dragon Ball Z Abridged, you all know Dragon Ball Z Abridged. You could almost say Ghost Stories was the predecessor that led to the Abridged series, maybe unintentionally too. But its true strength lies in the fact that the English dub was able to take a mediocre, forgettable anime that nobody gave a damn about and elevate it to a worthwhile, memorable, and outright hilarious comedy. No other English dub before or after have been able to pull off this feat. They were given free range to do whatever the hell they wanted, and they took advantage of it. And the voice talents were clearly having a blast doing so. Sex jokes, horny teens, jokes about retards, and over-the-top religious caricature, and meta jokes about dubbing, Ghost Stories delivers a dub for the ages. Tipping one's hat and living forever at the number 5 spot is Baca. The best word to describe this dub is slick. Everything about it seems to flow so naturally. The writing, from its structure to its dialogue, is precise and engaging. The lip syncing is near flawless, with the vocals matching the mouth movements. And the voice talents did a fantastic job with the accents, capturing the voice of the people from that era. The 2 best performances in the dub go to Brian Macy as Lad Russo and Jerry Jewell as Claire Stanfield, aka the Rail Tracer, aka Vino. Both were eccentric and cool while being vicious and cruel. That was an unintentional rhyme. I didn't do that on purpose. All in all, another home run dub made by Funimation. I'll be seeing you, Space Cowboy, at the number 4 spot. Cowboy Bebop. Bang! Now this was a no-brainer. When you're talking about the greatest anime dubs of all time, Cowboy Bebop must be in that discussion, as it was a game changer in every way, shape, and form. It was one of the first successful English dubs where the lip syncing was near perfect and the performances weren't half-assed or wooden. Before Cowboy Bebop, most dubbing companies really didn't put much care into dubbing over some anime. They didn't see it as an art form. They didn't see it as something that they should put their best foot forward. So they just basically went through the motion. But after Cowboy Bebop, in order to be a successful anime dub, attention to detail is key, and that's all thanks to Cowboy Bebop's success. And finally, and I really don't need to make this last point as it's already universally agreed upon, but I'm going to anyway. This was the first anime where most, if not everybody, agrees that the English dub surpasses the original Japanese version, and even convinced Sunrise, the Japanese animation studio behind Cowboy Bebop, to make a film due solely to how successful the English dub was. Not only that, but it also introduced the world to Stephen Bloom. who has now become a household name here in the anime community, all due to his fantastic performance as the damaged yet quirky Spike Spiegel. Because of the success of the Cowboy Bebop dub, the dubbing industry was reinvigorated and led to a renaissance that we still feel to this very day. If it wasn't for Cowboy Bebop, a lot of our favorite dubs may not have existed. Being equal parts offensive and hilarious is my number 3 choice, Italia. I feel as though when Funimation approached dubbing this anime, they asked themselves, how many offensive stereotypes and cartoony accents can we put in one dub? Oh, I have the answer. All of them! Really, what sells the dub for Italia is its humorous tone, fun-loving nature, and heavily exaggerated accents that would be deemed insensitive in today's world, which makes me love and appreciate it even more. The level of dedication each actor and actress gives to their role is excellent. 100% commitment to be as ridiculous and cartoony as possible, and I just ate it up. And I must say, some of these accents were actually quite spot on in the comedic sense. You got Todd Haberkorn as the main character, Italy. Patrick Swayze, I hope that's how you pronounce your name. If not, I apologize profusely, as Germany, who I must say is one of the more accurate accents I heard in the entire series, so you did a good job there. Christopher Bevins as Japan. That asshole as Great Britain. You know what? We're not gonna praise him. Get that guy out of here. We're not going to praise that asshole. J. Michael Tatum as France, who always had me dying of laughter, and I loved how he would bicker constantly with Great Britain, which is actually an accurate representation of the relationship between the real France and the real Great Britain. They always quarrel with each other. They can never get along. That's actually part of the genius about the show. The way that they rate the relationships of the different characters that represent the countries are very accurate to what their relationships are like in the real world. So hats off again to the writers and to the creators of Italia for really understanding world politics and the relationship between different countries. But going back to the voice acting now, you got Jerry Jewell as Russia, you got Clarine Harp as China, and finally, the man, the myth, the legend, the hero, America! Also Canada. Voiced by longtime Funimation alum Eric Vallee. I forgot to bring that part up. We're talking about voice actors after all. And to be honest, he was my favorite performance. This is still Funimation's funniest dub. Yes, I am admitting that right here, right now. It's funnier than Baca and Test. It's funnier than my favorite anime of all time, School Rumble. This is Funimation's best comedy dub, and it's extremely delightful and easy to watch. I promise you guys, you're going to have a blast watching the dub for Italia. Following the law of equivalent exchange at the number 2 spot is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. From Funimation's funniest dub to one of its more serious and dramatic dubs, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is Funimation at its finest. The storytelling is phenomenal, the ADR work tight and seamless, and the voice talent incredible. Much like Code Geass, the performers put on a great display of comedic and dramatic voice acting. Some of them even blew me away with their performances, like Vic Monognog as Edward Elric, the Full Metal Alchemist. He showed he had a true understanding of what made this character tick, and he displayed it through his vocal performance. His feisty deliveries captured the ill-willed, hot-tempered personality of the character, and also showed off how much of a badass he was. But he also was able to capture some of the sentimental moments with the character through a more toned-down delivery. Now that is excellent voice acting, and he is quite the master of his craft. He may be kind of a douchebag, but the man is a talented voice actor. I also loved Sonny Strait, aka the voice of Krillin's, performance as Mace Hughes. Though he wasn't in the anime for long, his positive demeanor coupled with his friendly, welcoming voice left an impact that resonated throughout the entire anime with each character as well as the audience. Powerful performances, memorable scenes, excellent writing, on-point ADR work. What more could you ask for from an English dub? And here we are at the #1 spot. And what could that be? What English dub gets the honor of being called the greatest English dub of all the land and probably of all time? Well, for my money, that goes to one of my favorite anime teams of all time, YuuYuu Hakusho. I know, surprising, right? I picked a dub that came out in the early 2000s as the greatest English dub of all time. But why did I do that? Well, it's quite simple. To me, this dub fits all the qualifications and is, in my opinion, Funimation's greatest dub. There's barely any flaws to the dub. Seamless lip syncing, excellent performances from a dream voice cast, and solid writing. Not to mention, YuuYuu Hakusho falls in that rare category of English dubs that are vastly superior to the Japanese version. Though Yusuke's Japanese seiyuu is decent, he's nowhere near as great or iconic as Justin Cook's portrayal of the character, giving him a rough, arrogant sound that matches perfectly with Yusuke's attitude. Also, he does a great job at making Yusuke sound both intimidating yet hilarious. I was also very surprised at Chris Sabat's performance as Kuwabara, as it was the first and probably only time where I felt like the voice actor got lost in the role and was completely unrecognizable. There are some inflections in Kuwabara's voice that are quite similar to Vegeta's and Yamcha and Piccolo and all the voices Chris Sabat does, but it would be very hard to tell because it is vastly different from all of his other performances, which to me always sounded the same. This was his most unique voice acting performance. It's so different from all the other characters he's ever voiced. I'll also give a special shout out to John Bergmeyer and Chuck Hubert, who were fantastic in the roles of Kurama and Hiei respectively. And finally, and this may very well be the thing that pushed it over the hump for me and propelled it over all the other anime dubs before and after it. To this very day, YuuYuu Hakusho is the only anime dub where the English version of the opening theme is as good, if not better, than the Japanese version. Smiling Bomb, the English version, is one of my all-time favorite opening themes. In my honest opinion, it's pure perfection and delight. It gets me so excited every time I hear that theme played. A rush of nostalgia just flows right through me. It's exciting, it's on point. From the badass vocal performances to the flawless ADR mixing, YuuYuu Hakusho, in my personal opinion, is not only Funimation's best dub, but the closest thing to a perfect dub, and my #1 choice for the best anime dub of all time. And those, ladies and gentlemen, were my picks for the top 10 best anime dubs. And I would love to know what you guys thought about my list. Did you agree with it? Did you disagree with it? Did you feel like I left any anime dubs out? And do let me know in the comment section, what is the best anime dub you ever heard? Comment below, let me know. I also want to take this time to thank Ben Tuttle. I forgot to thank him at the beginning of this video. Sorry, Ben, it kind of just slipped my mind. But he's the person that requested this top 10, and I want to thank him for also making the thumbnail for this top 10 list. It looks incredible. Thank you so much, Ben, for going above and beyond, and thank you for the suggestion. And stay tuned. I hopefully will have an anime review out soon, a movie review. I've been so behind schedule. I really hate when I'm behind schedule, but when life and work keeps clashing with you, I mean, what are you gonna do? But do stay tuned. I do have more videos on the way. And if you'd like to send me any letters for my BCG fan mail, send it to this P.O. box right up here. And as always, guys, if you'd like to see more videos on this channel, be a part of the Black Critic Crew, please hit the subscribe button below. Like this video if you really enjoyed it. And I'm Tony II, the dub master known as the Black Critic Guy. Till then, peace, YouTube.